So we got a super bad leak in the power steering pump. It's hard to see, but it's up here. Looks like the leak is coming from the bottom right here. Quite a bit. Man, this thing is leaking like crazy, dude. So far it looks like the bolt is super loose. I'm gonna try to tighten it up. Hopefully it's not stripped or something, like someone over tightened it. So the power steering pump's right up there. This bolt right here, which is impossible to see with my hand in the way, is super loose. So this bolt right here, it looks like the power steering pump. Someone did some work on it. They over tightened that bolt and it stripped it out. So now the bolt won't tighten up, and that's why it's leaking. Yeah, you can actually see, the threads. The aluminum threads are still on the bolt. So you can actually see right here, I'm pulling threads off of the bolt. Here are the actual threads. Someone's worked on the power steering pump. When they put it back together, they stripped out one of the bolts that holds the bottom gasket, which is like I think it's the return line. All right, let's get it done. So I don't know if you can see, but that bolt in there, right there, that's how I was able to jam it in there so I could actually take the pulley off. This one, right there. Oh yeah, if you're still here, like and subscribe. You can see the threads in there are just pretty much gone. Somebody over tightened this and it just stripped the threads out. So I wasn't able to compress this little gasket right here. Running power steering fluid through the system to try to flush out any of the particles or contamination, and I'm letting it leak into the pan that I put on the bottom. I also blow some air through it just to try to move anything that I can, and I do that a couple times and it just leaks into the pan. You could get a vacuum bleeder. That's another way to do it, is a vacuum bleeder where it sucks all the fluid through, but I've used this before and it seems to work pretty good. All right, let's put this thing back in. And so astonishingly enough, the fluid in this thing was actually pretty clean. These two 12mm bolts. The other one's on the bottom. All right, that's on there. All right, so the pump is now bolted on. Now we have to connect the pump connections, which is going to be the inlet and the return. Before doing this job, I just went on YouTube and double checked how to change a power steering pump on a Nissan Xterra. I've done some other power steering pumps on different cars, but every vehicle is a little bit different. There wasn't much information, but there was enough that you would get a good idea of what's going on. That's a good way to be able to estimate. And you know, if someone asks you to give them an estimate, go home, look it up, and tell them, you know, oh, give me a second, I'll give you an estimate. That's not a big deal. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, the new one's in. Just got to I got just putting it in. Here are the old ones right here. So this was stripped out, so it wasn't able to seal. But yeah, so everything's tightened up. I just got to put this top piece on. This one. Yeah, this has to go on the top, and then I gotta bleed the system, and then you're good to go. Yeah.
Poquito español.
Very poquito, yeah. All right. Well, now they're asking me to do an oil change.
Hey, are you a mobile mechanic? Is that what you do?
Yeah. How are you doing?
Okay. Shoot.
My wife's got a card.
Okay. Wait a minute. What's your name?
David. I'm from Park Marina.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Do you work on diesels?
Yeah, I do diesel. Well, okay. Yeah, it's a nice area.
I'm just trying to do a little physical therapy on my hip. I've been, let's say, fighting cancer. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what I should call myself. Oh man, it's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
crazy. My neighbor, she's 80. She's breast cancer. So they chopped my hip. UCLA chopped my hip. They chopped the heck out of my hip and took the tumor.
Oh shit, where did I?
Man, I'm craving a maple bar, man. A donut shop. But I'm trying to. See, I need new tires, but I don't want to buy new tires again and have them get chewed up. Like my left front is just freaking. It's like bald on it. I did that with the forklift. My ex-boss just kind of left a bunch of stuff in the shop and went out of business. And he didn't even call me, you know. I mean, he called me once. Hey, you want to buy my forklift, you know, for $2,000? And it needed work and I was busy, and I go, I ain't gonna get $2,000 for that. Anyhow, he fixed it up. But he said he wants a bigger forklift. And the guy, he goes, I'll be there in 15 minutes. So I got this guy with the jumper box. You start the fork, jump it, because the battery charged. And we're waiting and waiting. And the guy never freaking shows up. I tell him what it is. I go, it's on the end of traffic. I don't know what happened. The guy had no cell phone. So I don't know what happened.
That's a trip. That's a freaking railroad tie ivy, a beam behind you, and brake job. You know, front rotors, and I was just finding the rotors.
All right, so that one's done. We're gonna go to the, there's a Chevy Silverado right back there. I gotta do a oil change too also. I have a little YouTube channel, so
Oh, that's cool, man.
been doing it for a little while.
I'll fucking follow you.
Oh yeah, dude. It's Happy and Bleeding.
Happy and bleeding?
Yeah.
Oh, why is it like that?
Cause dude,
All the bullshit you
this
go
shit's fucking
through.
hard as fuck, but it's like I'd rather do this than anything else, right?
Yeah, dude. Oh, fuck yeah. I love it. Oh,
We gotta reset the computer too. Hey, so this thing shakes all the time?
Yeah, she says it like when she's as she goes faster, it shakes, and it says that it's harder to turn into the turns.
Because the ball joints like all feel pretty decent. Her CD boots are torn. The struts probably might need to be replaced, but all of her ball joints look fine. Like
You guys telling it?
Ricardo was telling me basically it's shaking, right? Okay, so yeah, so it's only when you're accelerating, it's not when you're stepping on the brakes or anything like that.
Yeah, and then you'll put more of the maintenance than you do on it.
Yeah, dude. I've got one thing coming up that's like. Okay, all right. So we just basically we did a couple oil changes. We did a power steering pump on that little Nissan Xterra, and then I was diagnosing a shake. Basically, that other car has some sort of shake in the front suspension, and we're on our way home. Everything worked out pretty simple. Customer was super cool, and yeah, we're done for the day. So we're gonna drive our asses home. And if you're still here, like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. And thanks for watching. And what else? Oh yeah, next. Well.